equally awesome. I think it's going to make a big difference again. Do you have anything else as far as changes or announcements?
Shout out to Lopez. What's up?
Shout out. He's listening to us during his workout.
Nice.
I just got the Facebook notification. I think that's it. Like I said, we're gonna go into more details about roster, number of spots, number of roster spots, and our scoring system. But I think generally, if we do anything, it'll just be a tweak. We're not gonna reinvent the wheel. We're going on our I've won 4 and you guys have won 3 or 4. So this is going on our 8th season, and we've started the league back in '06. There's 1 or 2 years where we skipped, but or we didn't play, but we've had 7 or 8 seasons now, and we've grown every year, and now we're to a point to where we have 12 good owners slash or players that play, and we're actually having to turn people away that want to join because we don't have enough spots open. So
sorry, Joey.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: if someone doesn't want to play, let me know. I've got 3 or 4 people wanting to play, and Joey's been wanting to play with us since like the days of Equinox. So, if someone does decide to drop out or whatever, I think I'm going to give him the opportunity to play. So, if you guys anybody decides they don't want to play or they're in too many leagues, let me know. I was going to give the spot to Joey, but I told Hayden, I said, if you're not sure if you still want to play, I'm not going to hold you to the fire that you said you retired. I wouldn't do that to anybody. So, as long as you got the money in hand and you're able to participate on draft day, you've got your spot. We've got 12. What I'm saying is we've got 12 good owners, and I like the people. I know everybody that plays. We all have our fun with certain people in the group. Everybody gets along and generally likes. Like there's nobody in the league that dislikes another owner, and I want to keep it that way. That's why. I want to keep it that way. I want to be able to have, like you said, good fun competition with friends. So, I guess if the plan is to definitely do the draft order weeks or even a month before the draft, and we'll have to work out the details, logistics, everything on that. And the plan is, if you're okay with it, is to kind of do like a live stream like we're doing now, and kind of broadcast when the order is determined, and I guess I'll be posting later in the upcoming weeks when that will be and when you need to get the buy-in to me. And like I said, if you can't play or whatever, just let me know. And like I said, we've got people want to play. So, but like I said, I'll meet with the competition committee, Barnaby and Will, and we'll get all that worked out, and we'll be posting that in the Facebook group. But other than that, I think we pretty much touched on everything. I can't think of anything else.
Draft will still be at my house. We'll still use the same software as last year. So, yeah. Sean and Josh, you guys, the experience you had last year, it'll be pretty much the same thing. You'll get the same kind of board and the same view, so you'll be a part of the draft the same way.
We'll Skype you in.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, and I think everyone told me last year's draft was by far the best we've ever had. It was much more fluid. It was much more smooth. It was ran much more smoothly. The software that he recommended we use, and then him hosting it here was a lot more room over here. We had people. We had you. I think you and people would come in here and tell you their picks.
Yep.
If they didn't want to use on the phone. We had people in your living room. You got a dining room in here. We've kind of spread out. In our own little command center.
Nelson walked in with a briefcase.
Nelson had a briefcase with all kinds of notebooks and notepads full of notes and just
internet man.
And that's what everybody told me. They said last year's draft was by far the best, and so hopefully we'll continue to do that and build on it. So
absolutely.
And that's really all I've got as far as announcements for the league. I'll be posting everything in the weeks to come once we get some dates set up.
All right. That sounds awesome. All of that sounds amazing to me. I hope you guys are excited for the upcoming season. I know I am. For tonight, we've got the actual NFL draft coming up in just about 20 minutes or so. Yeah, that's tomorrow night.
Almost everybody's draft coming up.
That's rough.
Anyways,
I know.
the draft is.
All right, so we're gonna do just a short preview of the draft, just throw out our own opinions and stuff out there. Again, I don't know a whole lot. I started my studying about 6 hours ago, so I saw the Mayock mock-up, and that's about the extent of my knowledge. I never heard of Jared Goff or Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz? Yeah. So, obviously those guys are slated to go number 1, number 2. It's looking very likely that Goff goes first and then Wentz second. James, give me your take on Goff.
Okay, so here's Goff is more pro ready, and if you look at the teams that traded up, the Rams traded up to the number 1 spot. Goff is more pro ready. He will probably start day 1. And that's what the Rams need. If you look at the Rams, they hit on Todd Gurley last year, excuse me. And they've always had a really good defense. And they've got a great coach in Jeff Fisher. They just have not had the quarterback. They haven't had really a good quarterback since the days of Kurt Warner. So anyways, like, I get them moving up, and I get them taking Goff with the first pick. He is more pro ready. With that being said, I'm actually one of those people, and I may be in the minority, but I actually think Carson Wentz has more of a ceiling, and I actually think in the long run he could be better than Carson Wentz. I think Goff is, who could I compare him to? Don't have a comparison in mind, but I just don't see Goff being a top 5 or maybe even a top 10 quarterback consistently throughout his career. I think he is I don't want to say game manager, but Alex Smith-like. Mm-hmm. Where I see Wentz needs to sit for a year, maybe even 2, and develop. But with his size, his athleticism, and his arm strength, I see where he could actually become a top 10 quarterback in the long run, Pro Bowl type player in the long run versus Goff. But that's just my opinion. I'm not slamming my fist like John Kramer saying Mark Sanchez will be better than Matt Stafford. I'm not saying this here. That's just my opinion. I'm not willing to bet on it. That's my perception. So, but it's not. I'm not slamming my fist down, take it to the bank, back the truck up. I'm not doing that with this. That's just how I think on both players.
Right. So. All right, Mr. Wallace, same question.
No, I definitely agree. Piggyback on his answer. Goff, I like to compare this situation to. Of course, I'm going to compare it to Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf, but I think that when they went back and they looked at that, and the Colts decided on Peyton Manning, they looked at somebody who was completely well-rounded in everything to come out and start. Now, granted, the first season was just like a nosedive, but the point is that they felt like it was somebody that could truly build around, and I think that Goff has got that. I think he's got the factor to be able to play. I think he's got the factor to be able to adapt as well. With the Rams. Wentz, on the other hand, though, I think it's going to be a tough situation for him going into the Eagles. I think right now they are just – I really think their trade to move up from 8 to 2 was just ridiculous. They gave up obviously at that point, you trade up 5 spots to grab a quarterback. So you kind of get an idea of who that's going to be. But you give up 5 picks to move up like 5 spots, 6 spots, and I just don't think Wentz the guy. Now, here's the thing: if something happens and the Rams decide they pull a draft day shenanigan and pick some random guy off the board or whatever, And the Eagles end up with Goff. I mean, God bless the kid, but I mean his career's about to take a nosedive because the Eagles are just a.
So you think it's more situation?
Yeah, no, I really think. I think the Rams presents a better future.
Oh yeah,
for any quarterback to pick.
Defense and running game, best friend, or quarterbacks, two best friends.
And I think the Eagles management right now, the decisions they're making, just the terribleness of everything, is only rivaled by what the 49ers have done recently and everything. So, by far, Rams are the better position. If I'm Goff, I want to go the Rams. But if I'm Wentz, I'm like, well, I hope I get paid because.
Well, that's the thing with Wentz. So, like, they've got Bradford, even though he's raising hell because he just signed a $30 million extension for 2 years. He's raising hell because they didn't tell him they were going to move up and draft a quarterback. So he sees the writings on the wall that he's not the future. But I agree. If I was Wentz, I would be praying the Rams take me number one. It's a much better situation, and I agree with him on that. I think if you put both of them, if you was to put both of them on the same team, and I know you can't do that, but if you could, I think Wentz in the long run. I mean, he's like, what is he? 6'5", big arm, athletic. I like, that's my type of. I like, but he comes from a small school. That's the knock on him. And like they were saying, he only threw like 500 and something passes in college. So it's not, yeah. So there's not a lot of tape on him. He's got the attributes in the measurables to be great. Golf is much more. He played at California. He's much more ready to be thrust in there, and the Rams are a pretty good team. I wouldn't say they're a decent team. Their receivers are a little questionable, but they've got the running back, they've got the defense. I like just the quarterback itself. I like Wentz, but yeah, if I was the Rams, obviously Goff is going to be put in a much better position to succeed. So I would.
All right. So real quick, just off the top of your head, where does Bradford land, and is he successful there?
Are you asking? Do we believe if he gets traded?
Yeah, or does he stay with the Eagles?
From what I hear, the Eagles don't want to trade him, and this could kind of play out into a Jake Plummer situation where I want to say it was the Chiefs, and I could be wrong, but I want to say the Chiefs either traded for Jake Plummer years ago, or they traded him to the Bucs, something crazy. But they traded him, and he was like, "Screw it, I'm going to Montana, and I'm gonna go live on my ranch." And he hasn't played in the NFL since. So the Eagles aren't willing to trade him, is what we're hearing, and he's under contract. So I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. I mean, if they don't want to trade him, then he's going to be their day one starter until he gets hurt, which typically happens. He'll play for 1 year, and then they may trade him next year when they want to give the keys to Wentz. But that's how I don't see him. The Eagles aren't going to take. I don't think they would take anything less than at least a first round draft pick for him. Minimum.
Right. Yeah.
So that's just my thoughts.
Oh, and they've already paid $11 million of his salary.
Yeah, they've already paid 11 of his 18 guaranteed.
Wow. Come in there and for anything less. Now, granted, you got to remember Bradford does have a history with injuries. So if he goes someplace that the O line is lacking and he gets beat up, it's not if but when. So that's the thing too, is that these teams that know that their O line is tough or that want a quarterback that's going to be able to scramble a lot and take some hits, that he's not for them. But word on the street is that they want like a second round pick. Obviously, I think for Bradford itself, I think take away his injuries, maybe.
Right.
But I think that the Eagles can't get anything less than a second because they already paid $11 million into this. They got to get something out of it.
Right.
Now,
and they don't want him to leave. They want him to be there for a year or two, and to let Wentz learn. That's everything I've read, all the reports and everything. That's what I've read. That is their plan. That was the reason they traded up, and they just never told Bradford the plan. So you can understand why he's pissed off. But it is what it is.
Right. So, what about the number one running back in these mock-ups, Elliott? Where do you think? Who do you think's going to take the first running back? Where do you think he's going to go?
I'll let you.
Well, I'll say this is the first pick that I think I agree with.